Do you often doubt and compare yourself to others? Well, if you do, by the end of this video, you are going to learn how to turn those negatives into positives, and you're going to be able to teach your friends to do the same. For the best and easy to understand faith and self-love videos, hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post a new video every Wednesday and Friday. So, as you can see by the title, we are going to be talking about self-love and confidence, one of the major things I love to talk about because I think it's so important, especially for a young teenage girl or a young adult, a female period, but I feel like young teenagers need to build on that now so that way when you're my age or older, you're not struggling to figure out who you are and how to love yourself and have confidence, because it's a harder struggle once you get to our ages because one, you're like an adult, you're more independent now, you have access to different things, you don't have parents trying to help and guide you, you're kind of doing it on your own to an extent. And if you can figure out these basic principles now, your life will be so much easier the older you get. So, here we go. So my first tip, this is going to sound really weird, and I actually came up with this when I was looking at TikTok and Instagram and watching what other girls talk about, and just stop watching teenage drama shows if you cannot handle it. That is my first tip, because subconsciously and maybe consciously, whatever character you're invested in and whatever show it is, you are going to kind of almost turn into that person, or you're going to want to try to mimic that person's life. So if that person's involved in a lot of drama, if that person's the popular girl, if that person has a lot of friends, because you feel attached and you can relate to that character or you want to be that character, you're going to try to make your life into theirs. And there's really no benefits to that because it's TV, it's fiction, it's scripted, it's not real. They may have gotten inspiration from the show from other things, but a lot of these teenage drama shows are all fiction. Like, come on now. When you think of Vampire Diaries, bro, like, just think about it, okay? Yeah, they're in high school. I don't know if you guys are in high school or whatever, but who is literally letting their teenager go on vacation and on these, like, traveling to different states with a guy? Like, who's doing that? I was not doing that when I was younger. Like, it's not real. Like, it really isn't real. It may be real for some, but for majority of us, that's not real. And if you think about it, a lot of those teenage drama shows like Pretty Little Liars, Riverdale, Vampire Diaries, Gossip Girl, their community was really small, and there was almost like a very, I don't want to say the word rural, but it was almost like a little, hick town. So that way a lot of these things have access, or you have access to like parties in the woods, or you have access to these grand parties at somebody's houses, or their parents are traveling. You can go to the lake and do this. You can drive up the street in your whole different state. Like, for a lot of us, that's not real life. So my first, and I think that is probably, that is the most important tip for young girls like you to understand is, do not take on whatever character or whatever show, do not take on whatever's going on in that show and try to apply it to your life. It's scripted. It isn't real. That person isn't even, like, you may like the actress or actor who's playing the character, but again, they are not real people. And you are a real person, so you're trying to take on a fictional character's life and apply it to your life, which are eventually gonna, no offense, but almost kind of screw it up because you're trying to make something that's fake be real, and you just can't do that. So if you cannot handle it, because I'm not going to say just because your age you can't handle things, some can't handle it, but if you cannot handle it, and what I mean by handle is, if you cannot control your attitude, if you cannot stop thinking about what this person's going to do, or if you can't control like what you're watching and you can't control how you act toward other people after you watch the show, just do yourself a favor and stop watching it. I'm not saying go cold turkey. If you can do that, then yeah, do that. Go cold turkey. But for those who can't, do it in stages. Like, if you watch it every day, limit it to every other day. And then the more you limit it throughout the days or throughout the weeks, it's going to become easier, and you're going to forget. Honestly, you're just going to forget about the show. So that's my first tip for you guys. All right, so my second tip, learn to be grateful for the small stuff. And it kind of goes into trying to apply what you saw in a show, trying to apply what you saw in their life to make it yours, so then you're ungrateful for the small things because it's not comparing up to what you expect your life to be like because of what you saw on TV. So when you're grateful for the fact that you're alive, you have a roof over your head, you have clothes on your back, you have food you can eat. It may not be the food you want to eat, but you have food to be able to put in your mouth and sustain you. Be grateful for those things, because a lot of people do not have that. And when you're not grateful for something, that's honestly letting the people around you know, and it should let you know you have an insecurity there. Like, something is wrong because you can't accept or you can't be grateful for what you have. And you're more than likely, like I said, you're more than likely comparing your life to somebody else's, or you're wishing your life was different. And God isn't going to bless or give you more if you can't take care of what you have right now. So when you want something bigger but you don't have it, still be grateful for the smaller things. When I was younger and thinking about it, I get like embarrassed or I feel bad. It's almost like, dang, I really acted like that. But I was younger. You live and learn. I was that girl who, how to say this? Okay. My birthday is in May, and it's always around Mother's Day. So I always felt like I have to share it. And it was annoying when I was younger. It was very annoying because I just wanted it to be just me. So my birthday is May 8th. And Mother's Day is usually like the 10th or the 12th. So it's not too far away. So even though my birthday isn't on the day of Mother's Day, sometimes it is, but even though it wasn't on Mother's Day, I would still have to share the week or the weekend, or if I wanted to get something, I would kind of feel bad if I didn't think about what my mom wanted. Not that she made me feel bad, but that was just me because there's a holiday coming up a couple of days after my birthday. And I remember this one time we were visiting a cousin I wasn't really close to, and we didn't really celebrate my birthday like that. I don't really remember why. I just remember being in her house and she had made a cake. And they were saying happy birthday to me. Lord, they were saying happy birthday in the cake, and the cake wasn't the flavor I liked. I didn't want it. I was just very, very rude and ungrateful, and oh, it's really bad. But I was younger. I don't even know how old I was turning, but I was much younger. And looking back at it now, and I'm like, I really just should have been grateful. Like, I got to see another year, obviously. I had someone who actually took time out of their day to make me a cake. My family, you know, they were making the best of whatever. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know how we ended up at that lady's house. But they were making the best of the day. And I was just like, because in my head, I knew what I wanted. I was watching my Super Sweet 16s. And I was watching all these teen shows. And I was like, why is my birthday like theirs? This person's birthday gets celebrated. Or even like with friends. Like, my birthday was celebrated like their birthday or something. And I just wasn't grateful. So that's just one example of one of my not most proudest moments. But I'm older, I'm better, I'm wiser, I'm not gonna do that. But being grateful really opens doors for you because people are gonna want to do more for you. So once you're grateful for like your mom making you breakfast, or your dad making dinner, or your dad even paying the bills, once you're grateful for those small things, you're gonna get more. Like, they're gonna want to do more for you. It may not be, oh, I'm gonna make them a better breakfast. Oh, I want to get this one a gift. Or I want to get them the new iPhone they want. They've been really nice. They've been really understanding. They've been very grateful these days. You're gonna get more for being grateful. God's gonna bless you for being grateful. So that is my second tip. Be grateful for the small stuff. And before I move on, if you guys have had a rude moment like I did, not my proudest moment, like I said, but if you have had a rude moment like me, just drop the situation in your comments. It doesn't have to be a long paragraph. It doesn't have to be anything like exaggerated, but just something, because it's something that you can learn from. If you can remember it, just write it in the comments, say what it is and why. And the more, honestly, for me, when I write things down, like write my feelings down, I understand myself more because I can sit back and look at what I said and I can figure out, oh, why? Like, you know, why did I do that? So if you can do that, write that in the comments. If you're comfortable, it's a free space, you guys. So the next thing, tip number 3, filter your friends. And that is so important. Who you hang out with is going to say a lot about you. I know you guys have heard the phrase, birds of a feather flock together. That's not just a phrase. That's not biblical, for those asking. It isn't biblical, but it's true. Like, who you are around is going to tell someone a lot about you, even if you aren't that person. So let's say you hang out with somebody who curses a lot, but you don't really curse, and that person that you hang out with does. Someone seeing you, even though it's judging, somebody seeing you from the outside is going to assume, well, that person curses a lot, so I know she curses, she has a potty mouth. Like, if the world we live in is unfair, people shouldn't judge a book by its cover, I know, but filtering and trying to analyze who you have in your space, who you have around you, who you go to when you're feeling down. Like, pay attention to what they're saying, pay attention to what they're doing. Do they have a trait that you admire, or do you think they have a toxic trait? And no, nobody's perfect. Everyone has things they can work on and grow on. But you do have those people whose flaws stand out more than others. And once you learn to filter your friends, you'll have way more peace. Because how I learned to filter my friends at my age, I would listen to how they talk. Not necessarily talk about me, or they don't even have to be talking about a situation relating to me. They could be talking about something else, but how they talk will tell me a lot about their character and if I want to be around them or not. So if I'm talking to someone and all they do is complain, I don't want to be around that, because then that's going to rub off on me. I'm going to become a complainer now, and that goes against what I just said in point 2, being grateful. Someone who complains a lot doesn't look on the bright side and just chooses to look at the bad and has something to say negative over every situation. So if you do have a friend that complains a lot, I'm not going to say to cut them off, but I will say, you know, you can address it. You can ask them, hey, why do you complain so much? You know, talk to them. But after that conversation and they don't really change, you can, you know, start to distance yourself, because complaining opens doors to so many things. I'll be getting that in another video. I'll get into it in another video, but it really does. Like, when someone complains, they really have a lot of underlining things going on. And that's just one trait to look for in a friend. Another trait you can look for is if they gossip a lot. I don't like gossiping. I feel like you don't have a life if all you can do is talk about somebody else's, including celebrities. Like, I don't follow any gossip social media sites. I just don't care. So gossiping isn't just talking about the person in your school or a family member. It's literally anyone. And when someone's doing that all the time, either they're a really big hater, they don't have a life, or they're like, you know, they're jealous and they really want that person's life, so they're talking about it. So if you have a friend that's always gossiping and always complaining, just separate. You don't need that in your space. You don't need that in your life. And you're not too young to filter friends. Like, you're not too young. It doesn't matter what anyone else really says. Again, going back to the TV, it doesn't matter that you watch things on TV and everyone has all these friends around them and it's just a big party all the time. Like, it's not like that. I know a lot of people who are my age who have one friend, or they have 1 or 2 good friends and they're trying to make friends. I know people who don't have any friends. So it's, again, TV isn't real. So do not get caught up in, I'm in school, I'm young, I need to have a lot of friends. You don't need a lot of friends. If you can find 1 good friend or 2 good friends, however many you want, you know, you can pray and ask the Lord to bring them to you, the right people. But thinking that you need a lot of people around you all the time is not true. The more people you have around you, I would say the more pressure, because everyone is different. So everyone's going to have different backgrounds, different upbringings, different opinions. And if you don't learn to filter what kind of friend you want around you, and the best way to do that is kind of ask yourself what kind of person you want to be. Does this person help you become that person? If they do not, why are you friends with them? You can be acquainted, you can be associates, you can be cordial and say hi and speak, but you do not have to hang out with them all the time, talk to them all the time. Like, you don't have to do any of that. And don't let anyone make you think that you have to do that, because you don't. So that's number 3, filter your friends. So important. And my last tip, dare to be different. It is okay if you, out of your entire friend group, are the only one that's into theater. It's okay if you're a girl and you're into basketball and your other friends are into cheerleading. Like, be yourself. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you different. I know that sounds like a cliche, you hear it all the time, but it really does. I'm a person, I've never fit in, ever. I have tried and it generally doesn't work. But I've never fit in. I've never had a lot of friends. And I still don't fit in. What I find fun, I have so many different interests, and I have so many different ideas and things I want to do. And I think big. Like, I think really big. When I was younger, and sometimes still today, I would purposely think unrealistic, because my reasoning behind it was, I serve God, and God can do anything. He can do whatever he wants. So if it's unrealistic to you, it's possible and realistic to God. So think unrealistic, you know. It's okay to dream big. It's okay to have big aspirations, and it's okay not to. But whatever who you are, like the root of who you are and how you are when no one is looking, be that person when people are looking. I'm naturally semi-reserved if I'm around people that I don't really know. But once you get to know me, I'm not. I'm actually kind of loud. I'm funny. I like to pull pranks on people. I love scaring people. And I like to have purposeful conversations, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like a wasted conversation. I don't like wasting my time. But that's just who I am, and I'm growing into just being accepting of that, and that's it. There's gonna be a lot of people who don't like it. I like dissecting the Bible and understanding it more and getting new revelations, because it's gonna make me a better person in the end, and I can relay that message to you guys and other people. And that's one of the things that I find fun. Do a lot of people find that fun with me? No. Am I by myself a lot? Yes. Is that by choice? Yes. Be different. Be different. Even if you don't think anything about you is different, whatever you think isn't interesting or isn't different, it is. Because however you're going to do whatever it is you want to do, no one's going to do it like you. So now you guys know how to boost your confidence and get rid of those teenage insecurities that come with everyone. You're not alone if you do have those insecurities. But how are you going to remember these steps a month, 2 months from now? You are going to follow me on IG and TikTok. I post motivational, inspirational things weekly. I post them to motivate you guys and myself, because a lot of things that I put on there are reminders for myself or revelations that I get depending on what I'm going through, and I just share it with you guys. So if you follow me on my socials, you are going to be constantly updated and constantly motivated to keep going in the direction that you are going in. Check out these videos next on how to glow up and forgive yourself. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like and share it with a friend, and I'll see you in that next video.